Did you know that nearly 70% of people report experiencing disrespect in their daily lives? And it highlights how pervasive this issue truly is. Disrespect can show up in subtle ways, from a dismissive comment to a lack of attention, but its impact is far from insignificant. When we feel disrespected, it chips away at our self-esteem, creates friction in our relationships, and leaves us vulnerable. In this video, we're going to explore 4 common behaviors that might be inadvertently inviting disrespect into your life. These aren't about blaming yourself, but about empowering you to cultivate healthier, more respectful dynamics in all your interactions. Remember, respect is a two-way street, and by understanding how our actions influence the respect we receive, we can create more positive and fulfilling connections with the people around us. Let's talk about a conversational habit that might seem harmless on the surface, but can actually signal a lack of respect. Interrupting. We've all been there, caught up in the excitement of a conversation and eager to share our own thoughts. But when we consistently cut someone off mid-sentence, we're essentially saying that our words matter more than theirs. Think about it. How does it make you feel when someone interrupts you? Frustrated? Unimportant? Dismissed? Think those feelings are at the heart of why interrupting can be so damaging to respect. When we interrupt, we're not truly listening. We're just waiting for our turn to speak. We're prioritizing our own thoughts and opinions over the other person's. And that sends a clear message of disrespect. Now, I understand that sometimes interruptions happen unintentionally. We get excited, we misjudge a pause, it happens. But if you find yourself consistently interrupting others, it's worth taking a step back and examining what might be driving that behavior. Are you overly eager to share your own experiences? Do you struggle with patience? Are you truly present in conversations? Or are you already formulating your response before the other person has finished speaking? By becoming aware of our interrupting habits, we can start to break them and replace them with more respectful listening practices. This means allowing others the space to fully express themselves, even if you don't agree with them. It means being present in the moment and truly absorbing what they're saying. Remember, a conversation is a two-way street, and respect flourishes when both parties feel heard and valued. We often think of disrespect as something that's loud and obvious. But the truth is, it can be incredibly subtle. And one of the most common yet overlooked ways we show disrespect is through a lack of active listening. Think about the difference between hearing and truly listening. Hearing is passive. It's simply the act of sound waves hitting our eardrums. Listening, on the other hand, is an active and engaged process. It requires focus, attention, and a genuine desire to understand the other person's perspective. When we listen actively, we're not just waiting for our turn to speak. We're fully present in the moment, absorbing the other person's words, body language, and thoughts. We're asking clarifying questions, reflecting back what we've heard, and demonstrating empathy for their experiences. Active listening is the foundation of respectful communication. It shows the other person that we value their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It creates a safe space for communication, a space for vulnerability and connection. On the other hand, when we fail to listen actively, we send a message that the other person isn't important enough for our full attention. We might as well be scrolling through our phones or checking our watches, because our minds are clearly elsewhere. This can be incredibly hurtful and disrespectful. Even if we don't intend it to be, it can make the other person feel small, insignificant, and unheard. So how can we become better active listeners? It starts with being present. Put away your phone, silence your notifications, and give the other person your undivided attention. Make eye contact, nod your head, and use verbal cues to show that you're engaged. Ask open-ended questions to encourage them to share more and resist the urge to interrupt or offer unsolicited advice. Sometimes the most respectful thing we can do is simply listen with empathy and understanding. The toxic belief that kills respect. We all have opinions. It's part of what makes us unique individuals with diverse perspectives and experiences. But there's a fine line between expressing our opinions respectfully and dismissing the opinions of others as irrelevant or insignificant. And when we cross that line, we create a breeding ground for disrespect. Think about a time when someone completely shut down your opinion without even trying to understand your perspective. How did that make you feel? Probably pretty awful, right? Like your thoughts and feelings didn't matter. Like you weren't worthy of respect. That's the power of dismissiveness. It invalidates the other person's experiences and makes them feel small and insignificant. It creates a power dynamic where one person's opinions are deemed more important than the others. And that's a recipe for disrespect. Now, I'm not saying that we have to agree with everyone all the time. Disagreement is a natural part of life. And it can actually be a catalyst for growth and learning. But there's a difference between disagreeing respectfully and being dismissive. Respectful disagreement involves acknowledging the other person's perspective, even if you don't share it. It means listening with an open mind and trying to understand where they're coming from. It means engaging in a dialogue where both parties feel heard and respected, even if you don't ultimately see eye to eye. Dismissiveness, on the other hand, shuts down dialogue and creates a wall of disrespect. It says, my way is the right way and your thoughts and feelings don't matter. So how can we avoid being dismissive? It starts with cultivating humility. Recognize that you don't have all the answers and that other people's perspectives have value, even if they're different from your own. Make a conscious effort to listen with an open mind and to seek understanding rather than judgment. Ask clarifying questions. Reflect back what you've heard and try to see the situation from their point of view. The unspoken language of respect. Are you fluent? Imagine working on a project for weeks, pouring your heart and soul into it, only to have your contributions completely overlooked when it's time for recognition. It's disheartening, demoralizing, and a surefire way to breed resentment and disrespect. Acknowledging others' contributions is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to show respect. It communicates that we see and value their efforts, that their hard work hasn't gone unnoticed. It fosters a sense of appreciation and belonging, creating a more positive and respectful environment. Think about it. How good does it feel when someone acknowledges your hard work? When they say thank you for going the extra mile? Or when they publicly recognize your contributions to a team effort? It feels amazing, right? It makes you feel seen, appreciated, and respected. On the other hand, when our contributions are consistently overlooked, it can make us feel invisible, unimportant, and disrespected. It can create a sense of resentment and demotivation, as if our efforts don't even matter. Acknowledging others' contributions doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can be as simple as saying, thank you for a job well done, giving credit where credit is due, or publicly acknowledging someone's efforts in a meeting. It's about making a conscious effort to see and appreciate the contributions of those around us, no matter how small they may seem. Because even the smallest gestures of acknowledgement can go a long way in fostering a culture of respect and appreciation. So make it a habit to acknowledge the contributions of others. Notice the little things, express your gratitude, and celebrate successes together. You'll be amazed at the positive impact it has on your relationships and the overall level of respect in your environment. As we've explored in this video, respect is often built and broken in the smallest of moments. Interrupting others, failing to listen actively, dismissing their opinions, and overlooking their contributions all send a clear message of disrespect, even if we don't intend it. The good news is that by becoming aware of these behaviors and making a conscious effort to change them, we can cultivate more respectful and fulfilling relationships in all areas of our lives. Remember, respect is a two-way street, and it starts with how we treat others. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced any of these behaviors? How did they make you feel? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about improving your social skills and building stronger relationships, be sure to check out my next video and insert related video topic here.